on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network. Go.com.
At the PWBA's first stop of 2000 in Las Cruces, New Mexico, Kim Adler started her Crystal 10-pin collection with a victory in the Las Cruces, New Mexico Open. 10-pin number 2 was added as she went through the field for a decisive victory in the St. Clair Classic just last week. Can she claim title number 3 of 2000 and add 10-pin number 3 tonight? Find out next as we bring you the finals of the Clabber Girl Greater Terre Haute Open. Tonight's opening match features rookie Cara Honeychurch in her second consecutive show. WIBC Queens runner-up Marianne DiRupo and WIBC Queens champion Wendy Macpherson. The player with the high score will advance to face the 98th Player and Bowler of the Year, Carol-Gianotti-Block, and the winner there will try to stop Kim Adler from winning back-to-back titles. Welcome inside Terre Haute Bowling Center for the 5th annual Clabber Girl Greater Terre Haute Open. Hi everyone, I'm Jan Schmidt along with my partner Lisa Wagner, and we're glad you're joining us. Our top seed tonight is Kim Adler, and she needs to win just one match to capture back-to-back titles and her second title here in Terre Haute.
Well, and Jan, I'm going to add to that just a little bit. If she does win here, she will have 3 titles, and she will be the only bowler this year to have done that. Now, I got to think that's going to give her a little bit of confidence going into the upcoming U.S. Open. She is defending champ there, by the way. Just imagine, Jam, if she does win here, she will have won 1/3 of all the tournaments so far this year.
Wow, that is pretty impressive. Well, there's another lady looking for multiple titles tonight. It's our number 3 seed, Wendy Macpherson, and she loves Terre Haute Bowling Center.
Well, she certainly does. As a matter of fact, this is her 4th show in 5 events in Terre Haute, so I gotta think she's pretty comfortable here. You might think that this would give her a little bit of a slight edge, but you know what? She's got to get through that first match with 3 bowlers. And Wendy said she might be a little bit tentative there. She had a tendency to do that in the past. She much prefers one-on-one matches.
Well, we'll see how she handles that opening match. We're ready to go. Wendy will be joined by Marianne DiRupo and Cara Honeychurch. And they're delaying the handshake just a bit, getting ready to start this match. Marianne DiRupo will lead off, and she was the number 4 qualifier, second in line to choose what position she wanted.
That's right. Wendy Macpherson in 3rd place had the first choice, and she has chosen to start on the right lane. So I would think that Wendy probably likes the left lane pretty good.
And wants to bowl her 10th frame on it.
Exactly.
Coming up a little light, leaving a 7-pin on that shot. Meanwhile, you can see Wendy Macpherson in the back. Wait, I'm sorry, I know I'm supposed to be up. Little confusion in starting today.
Well, that's right. Wendy said, you know, she's not quite comfortable in that the 3-bowler match. She likes that one-on-one.
Well, and, that's right. She just proved what you said.
Yeah.
She was going to make it one-on-one no matter what. Good opening shot, though. And she got off the approach quickly with only 1 shot.
Well, she got a little chuckle out of that, I think. She knows that she didn't get up quite when she was supposed to, but that may relax her. You never know.
Cara Honeychurch up now in the first frame. Good opening shot for her, too. Back-to-back shows for Cara. Great start to a rookie year.
So she had a goal this year to make 2 TV shows. This tournament right here is 3. So I think, hey, goal met and passed.
Marianne in the 2nd frame, working on a spare and coming light. Fortunate to knock out the 10 on that shot.
She was. A little bit of speed there on that first one. Probably some adrenaline there. You know, Marianne is a very, very strong physical player. She's very strong. And has to watch that acceleration and speed.
Well, it looks like Wendy's figuring out how to handle this opening match with 3 bowlers very quickly this time. Coverage is fair, no problem. Cara Honeychurch, the lone left-hander on the telecast this week, although several left-handers made the cut, and you can see the TV pair average. Cara Honeychurch, being the lefty, 236 average on this pair. It wasn't a very favorable pair for the right-handers.
Well, no, it wasn't, but we also have to mention that Cara qualified 5th. You know, the other 4 right below her right there, you know, they're 1, 2, 3, 4, so let's see what happens.
Appears to have a good shot tonight also. And the Lady Pros are taking a few weeks off, but are back in action after the U.S. Open with the Southern Virginia Open. Chico and Robin Valenzuela are filling Pro-Am squads now for Sunday, July 23rd. Contact Country Club Lanes at 804-791-2695 for more information. Marianne DiRupo trailing by 11. Wendy Macpherson and Cara Honeychurch all tied up, both with a double to start this match.
Marianne's best finish this year, 2nd in the WIBC Queens.
Marianne finally gets a strike. It's only the 3rd frame, but the other 2 players with doubles already. Wendy defeated Cara earlier this week. Once again, 24 games a match by Happen after qualifying in our tournaments. Even a 4-pin. There's 18 games of qualifying, and then head-to-head, 24 games.
Right, 24 games, 3 8-game blocks of match play. Every bowler in the top 24 bowls every other bowler once. The last game is a position round. As the positions are in that last game, 1, 2, 3, 4, everybody goes in order. 1 bowls 2, 3 bowls 4, 5 bowls 6. So anything can happen if the scores are close in that last game.
Oh, you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought you were counting the pins. Cara just left on that shot. Going up high.
That's right. She left the 4, 6, 7, 10, and it's well, a pretty unmakeable split. I mean, you will make it once in a while, but taking 2.
Well, Wendy Macpherson has the early lead at the Clabber Girl Greater Terre Haute Open. Stay with us. We'll be right back. The championship round finals of the Clabber Girl Greater Terre Haute Open are being brought to you by the Women's International Bowling Congress, striving for 85 years to identify and fulfill the needs of women bowlers. And by PWBA.com, the official site for news and information about the Professional Women's Bowling Association. Welcome back to the Clabber Girl Greater Terre Haute Open. If the ladies look familiar tonight and you've watched this show the last few years, 4 of the 5 were in this event in 1998.
Well, except for Michelle Mullen, who she didn't bowl this tournament, but
she probably wishes she did.
Yeah, that's right.
Lead change while we were away. Wendy Macpherson was in the lead by 10, but she chopped the 6-10 in the 4th frame. Cara Honeychurch took advantage with 3 strikes and leads by 3 pins over Marianne DiRupo.
Well, Marianne seems to have figured out the right lane. We know that she came up light twice on this lane before. She struck this time, or this lane last time she was up in the 6th frame.
Her last title to fall in 98. That's a long time for Marianne to go without a title. Coming up light again, though, on lane 20. She came through last night, Marianne DiRupo, shooting a 268 in position round to move from, what, 7th to 4th.
That's right. And, you know, I got to mention that she was really never in the top 5 until that last game. That's a pretty amazing stat right there.
And that's the time to do it. Wow. Out the window for Wendy.
That's right. Well, you know, the out of bounds this week is much more defined. We have 46 feet of oil this week. It's a bit more than we're normally used to. A little bit of a change this week. So when you see the balls fly out to the right for the right-handers, that's why.
So the oil's longer down the lane, so they don't get the back end reaction that we've seen the last several weeks.
That's right. And the moves have to be left and left. So when you're moving your feet left, you also have to move that target in a little bit left to keep a tight line.
Okay, that's a good tip. Cara Honeychurch now in the lead. By just 4 pins. And back to 3 with that 7-pin.
Well, she left a 7-pin also on lane 19 and converted that spare. But she's in the pocket just about every time. So as we've said before in many other shows, that is the key. Find the pocket, worry about carry later.
That's right. You talked about that last week with Kim Adler. Marianne DiRupo also likes Terre Haute. She's made 3 out of the 5 shows here, but hasn't won either.
Well, you know, she said that she has a nickname that she doesn't want.
Yeah?
Yes, that's right. We asked her about that. She said it was Deuce, that she doesn't like that anymore.
Too many second-place finishes. They were teasing her in
That's right.
Omaha.
She had 3 last year. 3 second-place finishes last year.
Wendy Macpherson now up in the 9th frame. She trails by 7 pins behind Cara Honeychurch. It's a close match. Not big scoring, but very close.
Well, and just because it's not big scoring, that's okay. You know, we like them close. Not everybody has to shoot 250 every game. Isn't that right?
That's correct.
That's right.
Well, Cara's in the lead, but Marianne and Wendy both have strikes up in the 9th. She really needs to set one up here. Wow.
And again.
7-pin looks very familiar.
3 in a row. Well, carry this week was hard. You know, we didn't even have a 300 this week. Usually every week, you know, the talent out here is so good, and somebody will pop up with a 300. This week we did not have a 300. We had 2 289s, but the carry this week we're going to see right here. Look at that. Ringing 7. Saw a lot of those, a lot of ringing 10s, a lot of 4 pins and 6 pins for both right and left-handers. It's probably the reason that no perfect games showed up.
So Cara Honeychurch still leads by 2 pins, but without that strike up in the 9th frame. Marianne or Wendy could shut her out.
This is Marianne's tough lane here. Let's see how she does.
Well, she got up to the pocket.
Well, yes, she did, and I'm sure she has made the right move. She is continuing to move a little bit right. She is moving every time on that lane and squaring up, but you know, she knows that if she goes too far right, it's probably going to hook too much, so she doesn't want to overcorrect.
Wendy comes through with a big shot in the 10th frame.
And Wendy choosing to start second, let her finish on that lane, and she likes that lane better, so that may have been the best move of the night so far.
Well, the way it stands right now, Wendy Macpherson could win this match with another strike and a good pin count. She can go off the sheet for 223. Cara Honeychurch can just shoot 219. Not carrying the 4-pin.
Open the door. But, you know, Cara has had 3 7-pins in a row. So she's going to have to figure out something on the carry. And this is where, you know, yes, she is hitting the pocket. And we've talked about, yes, find the pocket, worry about the carry later. Now's when she has to worry about it.
Covers is fair. Wendy, nice comeback, 212. Cara Honeychurch is going to need 2 strikes and 4 pins to win this match. There's one of them.
A little bit lighter that time at the pocket. We'll have to see what she does on the second shot. If she's moved, just balls the major rotation in the back. That's where she's getting the most of it. She's delaying the hook. She's got most of her revs in the back end, and that's where she's getting the good pin action.
Oh, and you called it. There's that 7-pin. No expression from Wendy Macpherson.
Well, I think she's probably not believing yet that she got by the first game. You know, we said that Wendy is not fond of bowling in the match with 3 bowlers. She likes the head-to-head matches, and hey, let's see what happens.
Well, Wendy Macpherson will advance to the semifinals after these messages and an update on the 2001 WIBC tournament. The tournament in Reno was one of the best ever. The competition and pageantry was second to none. Plans are already being made for next year's celebration, which will be held in southern Florida. The WIBC Queens and Nationals last visited the Sunshine State in 1990, when more than 14,000 teams competed. Entries for the 2001 event won't be available until August. But all the information is already online at www.bowl.com. So be sure to sign up for some fun in the sun in 2001. Final score of match 1, Wendy Macpherson 212 to DiRupo's 207 and Honeychurch's 209. Wendy Macpherson's next opponent will be her roommate, Carol-Gianotti-Block. Terre Haute Open in Terre Haute Bowling Center in Terre Haute, Indiana. Bowling continues to give. Thomas Becker kicked off the AMF-FightSMA.com tour in May and will travel the country for more than 100 days, bowling in all 50 states to try to raise $1 million to advance spinal muscular atrophy research. SMA is the #1 inherited cause of infant death. You're looking at the next several locations Thomas will visit for future sites and more information on joining the fight against SMA, visit FightSMA.com or call toll-free 877-9AMF-SMA. Well, the roommates are getting started, and hey, they said they're on a mission. Apparently, they are on that mission.
That's right. Yeah, they haven't, let us know exactly the particulars of that mission. They just said that they want to do as good as they can throughout this next few years, but we don't know exactly what that mission is. So,
care to take a guess?
Well, I bowled next to them in qualifying.
Yeah.
Wendy was on my right and Carol was on my left. I got a feeling that there might be a little more involved sometimes because maybe they're betting game to game or block to block. I'm not sure because I saw Wendy looking at Carol's score. Carol looking at Wendy's score all the time. And that's a little bit, unusual for them. They're not constantly checking out each other's scores all the time. So, hey, there might be a little bit more involved.
You never know. Well, her second straight TV appearance, whatever she's doing, is working. 13 years on tour. Even a 10-pin.
Right, and if you blinked, you probably didn't see her throw that shot.
I did. I missed it.
Carol's a very quick bowler. She likes to get up and go.
212 average this week. And I'm sure she hates to stop. She told us what she's going to do over the break.
Yeah, well, I'm not really ready to have a break. I mean, made the last 2 shows, so I'm ready to get going. But next week we've got the Bowl Expo, which is the trade PWBA, and I'm going to work that for track, and I haven't done it before, so anyone want to come out and visit me. And also the week after I got the high roller, so it's going to be a busy 2 weeks.
Well, all the players looking forward to a big break, and I know, Lisa, you have some huge plans for this break.
Yes, I do. I'm going to be traveling to New York City to Laser One, and I'm going to have the latest and greatest in laser eye surgery.
And that corrects what problem?
Well, I pretty much can't see 2 feet in front of me.
Ah, that'd be why you never know I'm sitting here.
Well, that's the reason I have glasses on right now. I have to give my eyes a break, have to take my contact lenses out. So that's why I'm wearing glasses.
Well, that's exciting.
I'm excited. I am thrilled. So U.S. Open, hey, watch out.
Yeah, you think it'll help your competition?
I'm going to be able to see every mark on every pin and every board, you name it.
Well, good luck with that. Hope it
Thank
works
you.
out okay.
Thank you. We'll look at Wendy Macpherson's game. She's a great 5-step approach. Look at that, just very simple. Stays down at the foul line. Great follow through. And always a great reaction, as we've seen. She is the bowler of the 90s. Continuing in 2000.
Well, that one reacted a little too much, going Brooklyn, leaving the 6-pin.
Now, she was looking a little bit off to the right. I'm not sure if something distracted her or if she just was pretty shocked that that ball hooked out of her hand. Watch this ball take a big jump left about halfway down the lane, leaving a 6-pin.
Carol-Gianotti-Block working on a strike, wants to say hello to husband Neil, who is at home in Australia, working now at home, and he does title searches.
Yes, he was in the United States, was living here, but now he's permanently in Australia.
Now, he searches for a different kind of title than Carol does.
That's right. She said, too, that in her language, the Aussie language, she wants a go at that title.
I'd give it a go. It's been a long struggle for her coming back from that arm surgery, so I'm sure she'd be thrilled. Other finishers this week, Liz Johnson. She averaged enough but didn't win enough matches. Ended up 6th. Robin Masanti, you saw her win that emotional doubles with Jeannie Nacarado.
That's right. In 11th and 12th, Kathy Tribby, Lisa Stevens, both are regional players of the year. Tiffany Stanbro, Jackie Mitzcavage, Linda Kelly from Dayton, Ohio.
We are all even. Tit for tat, spare strike, spare. Both players, Carol-Gianotti-Block now up in the 4th frame and continues to alternate. All even, so we'll be right back with the rest of the semifinal match. Don't go away. Long 9 weeks, Lisa. You've been driving all these miles, 4,627 miles.
Well, I didn't realize there was that many until they pointed it out. 8 states visited. Look at that. 934 balls drilled. That's a lot. And that came from our truck supervisor, Sean Morris.
372 games bowled. That's per person if they made it all the way through, made the cuts. And that's not counting practice in pro-ams, and that's a lot of extra games.
Well, it sure is, because especially these girls that are making the show quite a few weeks, I mean, people out there really don't realize how many extra games they are putting in, because they are bowling for a good 2 hours before we start here. They're practicing and warming up.
A lot of them are bowling about 100 games a week, many times. Carol covers the spare, and while we were away, Wendy Macpherson had a little bit of trouble. Big split in the 6th frame. She now trails by 25 pins. So, you know, hey, these two players, Wendy's been working with Carol on her patience. Looks like it's paying off.
Well, I certainly do, and I think Carol gained a lot of confidence from last week's show, and she said she needed that. She needed that boost, and it really shows now, because we're seeing the old Carol-Gianotti-Block.
Strike in the 8th frame. Wendy trailing by 25, stepping up in the 8th. She's on a strike, though. She can cut it to 15 pins with one more strike here. Just not turning over.
That's right, giving us some room on that lane. And, you know, we've seen that in the previous match. We saw that by Marianne DiRupo, and it just does not want to turn the corner. Wendy and Carol are playing a little bit of a different line. Wendy's a good bit further right now, so she's probably hitting that out of bounds, as you saw right there down the lane, leaving a 2-4-5.
And Wendy talked with us, and she wanted to do a special wish to somebody.
Special birthday wish for somebody? You want to tell me that?
Absolutely. My niece, Kendall Lee, her birthday is this Saturday. She'll be 3 years old, and I'd like to just wish her a happy birthday and say that her aunt and uncle and family and everybody, godparents, are all wishing her a happy day.
She's a cutie, too. She's been out at several of our tournaments. Wendy now up in the 9th frame. Definitely needed to set that strike up. Best Wendy can shoot would be 203.
You see Carol's max score, 238. And that's if she does strike out in the 9th and 10th.
Just needs to stay clean with good count. That's a big count because it's a double in the 9th frame. Talked about all these miles and all the players, long trip. People are exhausted, and we want to thank the caddies. All the caddies came out this week. It was tremendous. Carol-Gianotti's caddy was Linda Wilson, or Steve, Shannon, Linda, and Linda Wilson all caddied for Wendy and Carol.
Well, Carol just getting right up, taking charge of this whole situation.
Well, this whole situation is done.
Wow.
Yeah, that strike pretty much wrapped. She really didn't even need a mark now after the double, so huge shot in the 9th frame. That was a big one for Carol. Well, Wendy finishing up in 3rd place, $4,200. Wendy is ready for a break. She said her thumb, shoulder are very sore, but she's only going to take a week off because she doesn't want to lose her momentum she has.
Well, that's right. You know, she's only finished out of the top 10 once. That's it.
Well, Carol-Gianotti defeats Wendy Macpherson to stay alive. We'll recap tonight's matches when we return. DiRupo and Honeychurch, 212 to 207 and 209. In match 2, Carol-Gianotti-Block won the roommate contest, defeating Macpherson 236 to 181. We're going to take a look at the rest of the winners this whole swing. Great swing, 8 tournaments. Started off with Kim Adler, Las Cruces, New Mexico Open. Great way to start the year. Carolyn Doran Ballard continued her winning ways against Michelle Feldman in the Bowl for Blindness Classic. That's the kind of mark you want.
Carolyn Doran Ballard repeated in the San Diego Open. Guess who she defeated? Michelle Feldman.
In the most emotional event of the year, Jeannie Nacarado and Robin Masanti won the doubles for their dads who have passed away.
Boulder Open, Michelle Feldman, the champion here. What a powerful bowler she is.
We saw Wendy Macpherson tonight. She won the WIBC Queens, a major event, for the 2nd time in her career.
Michelle Feldman once again in the Omaha Open, defeating Linda Barnes from Wichita, Kansas.
And she was hurt. That's when she sprained her thumb, fell right before the match, and won. Kim Adler last week in the St. Clair Classic, defeating Wendy Macpherson to capture her 2nd title of the year. And who will it be tonight? One of these 2 ladies. They'll go at it for the championship right after this. Stay with us. Open. Carol-Gianotti-Block has made it to that match against Kim Adler. She wanted to have a go at it. She's going to have a go at it.
Well, I got to think she's going to get right down to business because she said that Kim has beaten her in a few matches that she really wanted to win. So she's out for a little revenge.
Good way to start. Kim Adler working on her ball.
That's right. She's looking for a little better feel. This week she said that, you know, she did have a little bit of problem with that. And after the 5th round, she went out and practiced to get a little better feel because she said it just didn't feel quite right.
The pins were on 2nd cycle, so Kim had to take a minute and recycle the pins to the 1st cycle. 14 titles. Number 14 coming last week, as you just saw. up light by carrying out the 7-pin.
Kim's got a great game. Is a good, solid 5-step approach. Going to step out with the left foot, small push away, and a short backswing. You're going to see it doesn't even go to shoulder height. But look at the power she generates with her legs. Nice and low and long. That right foot kicked back. And look at the reaction. Great opening shot by Kim Adler. Looking for 3 this year.
What a start. There's the 2 wins. Las Cruces, New Mexico, Fairview Heights, Illinois. Kim also had a caddy here this week, Mike Weltermude. And Marianne DiRupo had Sarah Cox. We don't want to forget her, and thanks to all the caddies for their help. Kim coming up light, a bucket.
A little different than we've seen from the other players. Most players on that lane are coming up high, if anything. Kim's playing around the 4th arrow. Ball just, it's not making the turn down the lane. The equipment she's using is, she's pretty familiar with this. She used this most of the week. So she is going to know the reaction to this, and she's going to know the right moves to make.
She's wearing the same lucky shirt she wore last week, so she can see if she could win again.
Laundered, she said.
She made sure we knew that. Carol-Gianotti-Block up in the 2nd frame, working on just 1 strike. Trying to make it 2. Coming up high. 6-10 for Carol.
You're going to notice that Carol does not go to a spare ball here. She uses her strike ball, and she's going to, break her wrist back and watch it, throws it pretty straight at it.
Well, she had a long road to get to this television show. Look at Carol-Gianotti-Block in the 3rd round. That's the end of qualifying. Just made the cut in 24th.
And you're going to notice that's the lowest number in that entire grid right there. 24th was the lowest. Nobody outside of that.
She made that cut by just 2 pins over Tish Johnson and Stacy Ryder, who tied for the 25th position.
Right.
Ooh, did she give that 10-pin a look? Well, she ended up drilling a new ball, she said, after qualifying. Great reaction. Changed her whole look on the lane.
That's right. And right here, hitting the pocket. Ringing 10, unfortunately. But we saw a lot of those this week. You got to expect them.
Okay, and how was her patience? You told me a story about that last game, the 24th game, 18th game of qualifying for the cut.
Well, toward the end of every block, if it wasn't going quite, as good as she wanted it to, her patience was being tested. I'll tell you. I saw her, 1 shot toward the end of a game. I don't think the ball even saw the lane. She airballed it pretty good. I got a little chuckle out of it, even though I probably shouldn't have.
Well, it's okay, except that you just told the whole nation that you laughed at it, but that's okay. 6-pin laying down in the channel, leaving the 10-pin for Kim Adler.
Well, Janet, we're human, and a lot of people, when they see these bowlers out here, they just go and they repeat every shot. And a lot of times, sometimes you don't see the emotion, but we're quite human, and can tend to show a little bit of anger or impatience or whatever.
Or joy, maybe. And Kim talked about a special reason for winning tonight.
With Father's Day?
Yes, with Father's Day being so close, I really wanted to bowl well in this tournament. I really felt all week that my dad's spirit was here in the bowling center with me again. I won here 2 years ago on the 10th year anniversary of his passing. So again, here we are at Father's Day. And also, I just learned today that I am a new aunt, and I have a new nephew named Noah, and so in dedicating to him as well for my brother-in-law, Mark.
So many emotions out here on tour, sometimes remembering loved ones who have passed away, and it can inspire you.
And a birth, as she was just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen a lot of those. We've seen a lot of moms out here bowling still. They have children, and they still come out here to bowl. Saw Kim looked like a little bit of an overcorrection that time. She went very light the first time, went high that time, leaving a 3-pin. So she's going to have a little bit of work to do in lane 19.
Carol-Gianotti-Block leads by just 1 pin in the 4th frame. Career TV stats, 208 average, I believe that was, for her career on television, coming up high 3.6. This year, she's doing okay. I know, frustrated, but she's 7th in earnings, 9th in points, 7th in average. Not where she wants to be, but she's close.
Well, she's coming back up to what she's used to. You know, she had such a good string there and so many good years in a row, and it was very frustrating when she had to have the surgery on her elbow, and things are coming back into play here, and she said that her game feels great. She's gaining confidence every week.
14 titles for Carol-Gianotti-Block. By virtue of that 8 count, Kim Adler now leads by 1 pin as Carol-Gianotti-Block steps up in the 5th frame. Well, Kim Adler's in the lead by 1 pin. We'll be right back at the conclusion of the championship match. The Clabber Girl Greater Terre Haute Open, Kim Adler up in the 5th frame, leads by 1 pin. Ooh, big break to trip the 6-pin out.
Well, I had a feeling this match was going to be pretty close. You know, Kim led this tournament, but she only led by 40 pins. Playing around the 4th arrow there, around 20 board, going up high. She got a real good break by tripping the 6-pin out. Left herself with a fairly easy spare, the 4-7.
Kim covers up the spare, and you talked about it being close, only 40 pins. Kim told us it was a real horse race that last round. She said she felt she had to physically bowl better if she was going to even just stay in the show.
That's right.
And she ended up adding some tape. She practiced between the last 2 rounds of match play.
Right, said she didn't have a real good feel, and she was going back and forth from 16 to 15 pounds this week. So every time she went to a 16-pound ball, she had to add a little bit more tape to get that good feel. So she went out and worked on it and got her mind focused on what her game plan was.
Well, she focused for that shot. Big strike in the 6th frame. With these 8 counts, the lead keeps changing back and forth by 1 pin. Carol-Gianotti-Block now in the lead by 1, but she can make it 11 with another strike here. 4-7 going out. You look at Darlene Baker, representative from WIBC. They're a big sponsor of ours, the Women's International Bowling Congress. Came out the last couple of days. Thanks, Darlene, for everything she does for us. Also, the Greater Terre Haute Women's Bowling Association was on hand. Lisa, you probably got to meet them and talk with them throughout the week.
That's right. They've been out in force this week and helping with absolutely everything that they can. We see Carol's max, 257 with a strike here.
Well, that puts Carol up by 21 pins. Kim Adler can strike and take it back to 11 in the 7th frame. Max score 246. Oh, and the same thing we saw to Wendy Macpherson. Ball sailing, leaving a 2-4-5.
Well, a lot of times this week, that's what happened if you missed left of your target. You got in a lot of oil, and the ball just sailed, you know, a good 8-10 feet longer down the lane than you wanted it to, and the result is a 2-4-5. Now she's got to guard against chopping this. Kim's counting boards on her spare there, making sure that she's standing in the right place, because that's what she did all week, so she knows where to shoot this. Oh, that hurt. That hurt a lot. Not a good time to chop a spare. Well, she's going right at it. You know, actually, look at it. Just little, it's like somebody kicked it left there right at the very end. Chopped it. Wow, a good couple inches there, looked like. Inch or two between the ball and the 5-pin. And a very, very unfortunate open for Kim Adler. Puts her down 33 pins through 7 frames.
But don't count her out. I'd be looking for her to throw a strike right here.
And that was a good shot, Jan.
Very good shot.
Very good shot. But, you know, the averages for these two ladies on this TV pair are only 3 pins apart, 203 and 200. So we know that this pair, you know, didn't play probably one of the best for these two, but they're hitting the pocket. Looking at a 4-pin for Kim, a little high in the pocket there. So she's probably going to have to move a little bit left on that lane.
Carol-Gianotti-Block working on 3 in a row. She leads by 33. She can make it 43 if she continues to strike. Max score 257. There's that fallback shot. And as Kim Adler still hopes to add another pin to her collection, we want to remind you of another upcoming tournament. Kim will be back in Louisville, Kentucky to defend her Lady Ebonite Classic title. The tournament runs July 29th through August 2nd at Executive Bowl in Louisville. Contact Sunny France at 502-368-1651 for more tournament and pro-am information. Ooh. And Carol told us she loves playing that fallback shot.
That's right. We don't see that too often anymore, you know, with the equipment being so powerful these days. And a lot of times the ball just hooks too much. You don't get that fade back. But we are bowling on, like I said, 46 feet of oil. So that's pretty good length. Oh, that went in the channel. Now they're going to have that, even though the ball did come out and make that 10-pin, they're going to have to mark that as a 9-0.
Wow. So Kim Adler will step up in the 9th frame. He's going to try to set up a strike because the match just changed a little bit. Carol-Gianotti-Block still has a big lead. Kim Adler can shoot 204. If she strikes out, she can force Carol-Gianotti-Block to mark.
Kim right now is checking out the score. She needs all 3 in the 10th here for 204. She's going to take a little bit of time right here and make sure that she's lined up and that she's going to make a good shot.
You never know when you try to force someone to mark.
She's been hitting the pocket on this lane the last couple of frames. So she knows what business she needs to take care of.
And she's taking care of business, but she does need every one, including the fill ball.
Great shot. She stayed down at the foul line, got through this one great. Could not ask for a better strike for the first one in the 10th. And that was a must-have. As this one, the second one in the 10th, is a gotta have it too.
Oh, she threw a good shot.
Yes, she did.
This match is all over. She needed to strike, had to.
And we saw Carol looking at the score, and I think she's probably adding it in her head. Can't believe it. It's been a long time.
Carol-Gianotti-Block's last title, the 1998 Storm Three Rivers Open in Pittsburgh, the fall of 1998, and then that long rehab on arm surgery. And finishing up in second place, the roar you heard, a messenger came across, took out the 10-pin. It doesn't matter. Carol didn't even need to throw a ball, but hey, it's exciting to finish that way.
That's right. And we saw her look up and say, thank you. She's back.
Carol-Gianotti-Block claims the 5th Clabber Girl Greater Terre Haute Open. We're not finished yet, so stay tuned.
Adventurous festival turns of the natural road course at Portland International Speedway. The Freightliner G.I. Joe's 200. Sunday at 7 on ESPN2.
The championship round finals of the Clabber Girl Greater Terre Haute Open are being brought to you by the Women's International Bowling Congress, striving for 85 years to identify and fulfill the needs of women bowlers. By PWBA.com, the official site for news and information about the Professional Women's Bowling Association. And by 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls. There's your champion of the Clabber Girl Greater Terre Haute Open, Carol-Gianotti-Block final score, 224 to 193. Gary Morris, VP and GM of Pullman & Company, the makers of Clabber Girl Baking Powder, is on hand with a check for $11,500. And Rick Braden, president of Terre Haute Bowling Center, has a beautiful crystal pin. Carol-Gianotti-Block captures her 15th career title at the Clabber Girl Greater Terre Haute Open. The PWBA takes a break, but watch for a return to ESPN2 on Thursday, August 3rd at 1 p.m. Eastern with the finals of the Southern Virginia Open. For Lisa Wagner, I'm Jan Schmidt, and we thank you for watching the past 9 weeks. So long from Terre Haute Bowling Center. We'll see you in August. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com.